We are reading from Mark chapter 8 in the New King James Version, starting at verse 15. Then he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It is because we have no bread. But Jesus, being aware of it, said to them, Why do you reason because you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive nor understand? Is your heart still hardened? Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? And do you not remember? When I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many baskets full of fragments did you take up? They said to him, 12. Also, when I broke the 7 for the 4,000, how many large baskets full of fragments did you take up? They said to him, 7. So he said to them, How is it you do not understand? Now, for context, because I don't want to cherry pick just one verse out of a book of over 1,000 pages and act like I know something. It's a very disgusting thing we need to stop doing. Please go read this book from Genesis to the end of Revelation. I've done it several times. Okay, for context, Mark 8 begins with the feeding of the 4,000, and then there is an encounter with the Pharisees where that never goes well. They didn't like him. He didn't like them. They got him killed in the end, and he never hesitated to piss them off. He didn't get along with the temple people of the day. So if you're having trouble getting along with temple people today, well, you might be on the narrow way, brother. A lot of temple people. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Then we get to the part where he says, Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? How is it you do not understand? Okay. It is Saturday, September 20th, 2025 AD. And there has been some bad things going on in my country. We have a civil war going on. Every day you wake up, there's been 4 or 5 shootings. Every now and again, the person that gets shot's really famous and has an audience of millions. And then people pay attention. You have very well-defined political sides shooting each other for publicly declared reasons. It's a very disgusting thing. I hate it. I don't take part in it. I'm not shooting anybody, but historically the lands and spoils and law-making capabilities always go to the people that are best at high-tech violence. So what are you going to do to stop these people? It's just the way things are. It's just the world we live in. I hate it, but all I can do is say it wasn't me. What else can you do? Okay, so we have these tragic events. And I don't understand where that gives us any excuse to spread lies, deceit, and subterfuge. Now, I know you have evil people out there. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father you will do. You will spread lies, deceit, and subterfuge any chance you get. Because, you want power, you want money, you want people to do what you want, tell them to do. You want to control the world. I get it. Okay, you're out there. There are always people like you. But those are not the people that I want to talk to today. Today, I want to talk to quite a lot of people. Okay, where do these tragic events give us any excuse to tell an obvious lie? Because I know you people. I know a lot of you people personally. You try to tell me there is a lack of God, lack of Jesus, lack of moral compass in the United States of America. Now, I understand bad things have happened. And I understand that someone said this, or someone wrote it down and you read it, or you hear it and you repeat it like a parrot. Yeah, we've all done that. Some of us more than others, but look, this one right here Every time I see it pop up, I've got to stop you because I know you people personally. I know you cannot drive to work. You cannot drive to Walmart. You cannot drive home from either one of those places without passing at least 3 churches. More likely 5. Okay, they're everywhere. Those churches are right there. I know you see them. Okay, I know people who go to church in places that seat 1,500 people and have 3 services on a Sunday in towns of 20,000 people. That's 4,500 people, just that one church. We're not talking about the Compaq Center where the Houston Rockets used to play that Joel Osteen bought out in the early 2000s, I think. I lived in Houston when it happened. I was in Houston 2004, 2005. Happened a little bit before that. That's a basketball arena. They packed that place. Kenneth Copeland has an audience of millions. Charlie Kirk had an audience of millions. They were talking about voting for him for the next president. Okay? One guy in one university shoots him. He had been to thousands of universities talking to thousands of people. Those people didn't shoot him. Most people don't have a lack of God or lack of Jesus or lack of moral compass in this country. Very few do. How could you? There are 15 churches for every bar in the town you live in. At least 10 churches for every bar in the town you live in. If you've never counted them, that right there shows you that Jesus Christ is bigger than booze. And prohibition was a bad idea for the United States, so booze is big here. I mean, booze is just as central to the building of the United States as Jesus was. Look at any map of colonial towns. You'll find the church, the meeting house, in the center of town, right next to the pub. So the United States was founded on Jesus and liquor. But that Dylan Mulvaney crap in 2023 certainly proved Jesus is bigger than Budweiser here. I mean, my God, the church overturned a Supreme Court decision in recent years. I don't know of an unelected group of citizens that have done that since the 1970s. That's pretty big and powerful, don't you say? I wouldn't say there's a lack of anything there. That's a big movement, man. Can you go anywhere? Because I can't. Can you go anywhere, Walmart to work? I don't know, somewhere you can go where there's people without running into one of these people without some Christian message on their shirt. You give them one reason to smile. First thing they say, God is good. God is so good. There's got to be 100 million of those people in this country. I can't get away from them. Okay, what are you talking about? Lack of God, lack of Jesus, lack of moral compass. I mean, I was going through Dallas the other day, went through the FM dial, and lo and behold, I find a listener-sponsored Christian broadcasting station on the FM dial, just like the KHCB network in Houston that I used to listen to. You can always find one in every major city. Jesus Christ is big here. What are you talking about? Lack of moral compass, lack of Jesus, lack of God. God is everywhere in this country. Christians are everywhere in this country. I mean, let's just belabor this point for a little bit. I am all over this country all the time. And, okay, not sure what state this is in. I've seen this one before. Oh, okay, right there. That one right there. That one is in Missouri. It's on I-44 in Missouri. I saw it earlier this week. You see these all over the country. Jesus on billboards. And I see, you told me I'd see man buns and skinny jeans and a lack of God, lack of Jesus, lack of moral compass in Colorado. I saw a tent revival in Grand Junction, Colorado. Took pictures of it, put it on Facebook. Okay, you told me I would see godless liberals up in Maryland. I saw a chaplain's office at the TA truck stop in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. Oh my God, the preacher in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, he started at 10:45 and he didn't quit until after 1 o'clock. Clearly, Jesus is bigger than the NFL up there. I took pictures of placemats in Seymour, Indiana, where there's advertisements for local businesses, and there's scripture. You go into the bathroom, there's tracts placed in there. Jesus Christ is everywhere. He's in every nook and cranny of this country. You can tell people you're the biggest defender of Israel and be a senator from Texas for the rest of your life. That would get you hung in a lot of places. Okay, now let's talk about somewhere that actually had a lack of God, lack of Jesus. Let's talk about that. Okay. This right here. This is a popular bumper sticker or ornament, I guess you'd say. At least people have this on their bumpers. Some people go as far as to put plastic Jesus figurines from the front of their hood to the back of their trunk. I've actually visited one of these people in the hospital when she had a heart attack, a very dear woman to me. And we sat with an open Bible, for I was sick and you in prison and you ministered to me. You came to me. Matthew chapter 25. I mean, this right here, if you read what that says, it has been speculated that the symbol was adopted by early Christians as a secret symbol, a shibboleth, to determine if another was indeed Christian. Okay, this Jesus fish right here can be flown as a bumper sticker. And nobody ever has been dragged out of their car and arrested for having that bumper sticker on. But back in the days of the disciples of Jesus Christ, I'm talking about the people that were standing right there when he said, "Go ye therefore into all nations." Go ye therefore, teach all nations, the Great Commission. You know what I'm talking about. I need to sleep. Those people went out, and one of them, as the story goes, had to draw this in the sand, one line of it. The other, if he was a Christian, would be able to draw the other line of it, and that Ichthus was an acronym for Eternal God, Son, Prince of Peace, something like that. It's been a while since I took that class. But they lived in a society where there was a lack of Jesus. They hadn't been established yet. That was a lack of Jesus. That was a lack of God. A moral compass, I don't know. The Romans seem to have been trying to enforce some kind of moral compass. But let's look. I'm going to go as far as to say this. Jesus Christ is big in the United States. He's in every nook and cranny of the United States. And he's not going anywhere. Jesus Christ, I'll put it this way. If nuclear war happens tomorrow, you can count on 2 life forms surviving. Cockroaches and an American Christian with a Bible. Those 2 will make it. Okay. So, I know, my point is, I know that you see all this. It's right there in front of your eyes. Nobody grabs it, you points it out to you that it's there. So, nobody's done a Fox News story on it, so I guess you think it's not there. I don't know, but I have to ask you, having eyes, do you not see? How is it you do not understand? Look, I'm very sorry about the things that have happened. And no one anywhere seems to have any answers, and there's no end to it, so I get it. People are looking for answers. That does not give us an excuse to spread a very obvious lie. There is no lack of God in this country. There is no lack of Jesus in this country. Now, we could argue that there's not enough to fill your habit for it, desire for it. You know, I've seen people who couldn't get enough cocaine, or I can't get enough of my wife. You know, that's people get addicted to church and Jesus and this whole holy roller thing just the same way. It wasn't called the opiate for the masses for nothing. Okay, if there's not enough Jesus to fill your habit, that's a completely different matter. We could argue that. But you can't tell me, and I don't want to let you tell anybody else, the obvious lie that there is a lack of such a thing in this country. There's not. We got plenty of it. We got more of it than anybody else. And that ain't going nowhere. There's the truth. So I'm here to expose a lie and tell the truth.